The diamond dress. I already crocheted the first part and we start crocheting the second part together. I received this yarn from Durable. It is durable coral. It is color antique pink. And I received a crochet hook for 2.5 millimeters. Only I will crochet it with a 3 millimeter yarn, this cotton yarn, because with a 2.5 millimeters crochet hook it became a bit too stiff. Please keep in mind that when you have a leftover yarns, put it aside, because I always make project for leftover yarns. We will get started with a foundation double crochet row that makes it stretchy and not stiff. When you make a chain and then double crochet on top of it, please make sure that you start off with a, for example, 4 millimeter crochet hook. That way the tension will be the same. I will show you now how to do it with a foundation double crochet row. Let's get started. I will put the skein away and we will get started with a foundation double crochet row. I keep this one because there is my color number on it. I put this one aside and we'll start off with a 3 millimeter crochet hook. So here's my beginning. I put this aside. So let's get started. First I put a loop on my hook. So grab my yarn with my finger, index finger and my thumb, and with my ring finger and my middle finger. Leave this one there. Put the tail here and the working strand on the other side. Put your hook underneath and pull up towards you and then twist it around like this. All the way around. Hold it there and then grab your working yarn. Move your index finger and your thumb up to the work and pull the loop through. That way you have a chain on your hook or a loop on your hook. I tie it up so that way this stitch won't go anywhere. And then I'll start off with chaining. So chain 3, so this is my first, second and third. Then I wrap around and I go back to the first chain, not the one on the knot but the chain. I go underneath 2 strands of yarn, so underneath 2 legs of the chain. One, and there is number 2. Then here it is. Yes, grab the yarn and pull underneath those 2 through. Then loosen it. Don't tie it to tension. Don't put too tension on it. Yarn around, pull through 1 loop. I've got 3 loops on my hook. Hold this stitch here with my finger loosely, then yarn around, pull through 2, yarn around, pull through 2. Now I've done my second double crochet on top of it. I will show you one more time. Yarn around and then you go back to the first leg of this double crochet and you go with underneath both strands of yarn from the beginning of this double crochet. Here are the 2 strands. So underneath the V-shaped stitch. Pick up the yarn and pull through. Wrap the yarn around again. Pull through 1 loop. Always first to 1. Then 2 through 2 and through 2. Now I've got my third double crochet on top of it. Yarn around one more time. Go back to that V-shaped stitch here, underneath 2 loops, put your yarn hook through, grab the yarn and pull through 1 loop underneath the loop. Yarn around, pull through 1, yarn around, pull through 2, yarn around and pull through 2. Now I've got 4 double crochets on top of each other. Yarn around, pull through, yarn around, pull through 1 and through 2 and through 2. and so on and so on, in a multiple of 22 double crochets in a row. So measure up your hair around your waist and divide it by 2. Make sure that the back part is one section smaller than the front part. So for example, you have 80 centimeters around your waist, around your hips, then it should be 40 centimeters. So that way you know you have to make sure that one part is one section bigger than that and the back part. The front part is bigger than the back part. So for example, 80 centimeters is similar to 5 times 22 from 22 base double crochet rows and stitches. Then you should add up one more. So instead of 5, for example, you need 6, and then for the back you need 5 pieces. Well, I'm done here. I've got my multiple of 22 foundation double crochets, and I'll add up 4 more in order to begin and end at the correct same amount of stitches, because you can't end with this pattern in a chain stitch. You need to have a double crochet at the end and in the beginning. So I will add those 4 into the foundation double crochet row, and then we get started with the first row to make the motifs. Well, I'm done here. Here it is, 22 stitches per motif, per diamond stitch as they call it. I always chain 1 and turn, and I start directly in the same space where I ended. So there I make my first double crochet. That way you get a nice edging on the sides. Then chain for the next and repeat this for the next 21 stitches, and then when you're done with your 21 stitches like I just did, you start with a chain 1. I made my 21 double crochets, and then chain 1, skip 1 stitch, double crochet in the next 21 stitches. You make 21 double crochets. So I'm almost finished here with my 21 double crochets in a row. Here it is, my chain 1 space here, skipped 1 stitch, make my 21 double crochets, again chain 1, and again skip 1 stitch, and then in the next 21 stitches you make each one double crochet. Here it is first, and I'm almost done here. And here is my 21st. So here's my skipped and my chain 1 stitch. I make my 21 double crochets. I will chain 1, skip 1 stitch, and double crochet in the last stitch. Chain 1 and turn. If you rather make a chain 3, that's up to you. I rather make a chain 1 and then turn. Directly on top of that double crochet from the previous row, I will make my double crochet here. So you skip the chain 1 you made and then directly a double crochet. Here it is, and then 1 double crochet in a chain 1 space. Now chain 1, skip the first double crochet, and then in the next 19 stitches you make 1 double crochet. So you will have less stitches in this row, less double crochet stitches. So here's my 19th. First row you made 21, and the second row you make 19. You see that the chain 1 space moves up with 1 stitch in the beginning and at the end. 19 double crochets in a row, skip 1 stitch, chain 1, and then double crochet in the chain 1 space. Let's get started. Grab some yarn, chain 1, skip to the chain 1 space, and there you make 1 double crochet in it. Again chain 1, skip the first double crochet, and then 19 double crochets in a row. Almost done. And there one more. Here it is. So I ended one before the last. I made my last double crochet on top of it, and the last one I don't crochet. Now again, chain 1, go into the chain 1 space and make your double crochet, chain 1, skip the double crochet, and 19 double crochets in a row. And then we're at the end. So I'm almost finished here. Make my last stitches in here. There it is. So I made my 19 double crochets. Don't crochet in the last one. Chain 1, and then in the chain 1 space from the previous row you make 1 double crochet, and in the last stitch make 1 double crochet. There it is. Third row is done now. So we begin with 2 double crochets and we end with the 2 double crochets. The next row we will increase again, but where the chain double crochet in the chain 1 we made, there you go increasing, and the other side you will decrease, sorry. 19 double crochets, chain 1, and 1 double crochet in the chain 1 space. Here it is. Then chain 1, skip 1 stitch, 19 double crochets in a row, chain 1, skip a stitch, and 2 double crochets in a row. That's 1 in the chain 1 space and 1 at the end. Make sure that it's in the chain 1 when you work as I do in the chain 1 stitch you made to turn the work around. So you see here, this one here will be increasing and this one will be decreasing with 2 stitches every row. Here you will go up in the amount of stitches and there you will go down in the amount of stitches. This is 19 plus 1 is 20. This one. That way you know always come out at the multiple of 20. So I will show you. Chain 1 and turn. Here it is. Start with the first double crochet stitch in the first stitch. Oh, there it goes wrong sometimes. Here it is. Then in the next 1 double crochet and 1 in the chain 1 space. Now we go decreasing on this particular area, so chain 1, skip the first double crochet and then 17 double crochets in a row. Almost at the end here from the first 17. You see? Skipped 1 stitch here and 17 double crochets in a row, and don't crochet in the last one. Now you go increase here. So chain 1, skip the last double crochet and go into the chain 1 space with 1 double crochet. That's the first. The second comes on top of the double crochet that stands alone here, and the third in the chain 1 space after it. Now you've got 3. Chain 1, skip the first double crochet and 17 double crochets in a row. So that is 17 plus 3 makes 20 double crochets. That way you always know if you're correct or not. Well, done here, chain 1, 1 double crochet in the chain 1 space, 1 on top of the double crochet, and 1 in the chain 1 space. That makes 3, chain 1, and go to the next section, skip the first stitch, and then 17 double crochets in a row. Oh, it goes wrong here. There it is. Then chain 1, skip the last double crochet and double crochet in the chain 1 space, double crochet on top of the last 2 double crochets, and there it is in a chain, turning chain 1. You see here, that is the last stitch, don't forget that one. So that is 3 double crochets in a row at the beginning and at the end. Chain 1, and I'll show you what happened. So we started off with 3 double crochets, chain 1, 17 double crochets, chain 1, 3 double crochets, chain 1, 17 double crochets, chain 1, 3 double crochets, chain 1, 17 double crochets, chain 1 and 3 double crochets. 5th row. You see already that this point is going to be increasing here and the other sides. Here you go next row with 5, then 7 double crochets, 9 double crochets, 11 double crochets, and so on and so on. And the other points will go work towards each other. So it's 17 now. In the next row you will have 15, then 13. The next row you will have 11, 9, and so on, up until you're in the point. And then you go increasing again, like here. This one here will be on top of the other one, and you get a diamond shaped stitch. So this is how you start off, and as long as your stitch count is correct, so 17 versus 3 makes 20 stitches, then you're correct to go. So one more time. I already chained 1. Only in this area here you will increase with 1 stitch or decrease with 1 stitch, not 2, because it is a half pattern motif. So here you have, instead of 3 in this row, you will have 4 in this row. First in the first stitch, like I already said before, there it is. 1 in the next, 1 after, and 1 in the chain 1 space, and then you have 4 double crochets in a row. Then see here, 4. Now with chain 1, skip the first double crochet of the next part and then make 15 double crochets in a row. Almost done here. Here it is. So we skip that one and we increase here with 1 stitch on each side. So chain 1, skip the double and 1 double crochet in the chain 1 space, 1 on top of each of the 3 double crochets, so that is 4 in total, 3 and 4, and 1 in the last chain 1 space, that makes 5. Now chain 1, skip the next double crochet and make 15 double crochets in a row, so there's 1 on top of each double crochet. I'm almost done here. I will show you. You see here 5 double crochets and a chain 1 before and after, and then 15 double crochets in a row. You skip the first and the last stitch. You see already the shaping that you must have. This one will be bigger and this one will be smaller at the end. So here will be, the next row will be 7 and there it will be 13, and that equals to 20. So next part, chain 1, skip the double and 1 double crochet in the chain 1 space, 1 double crochet on top of the 3 double crochets, that makes 4, 3 and 4, and 1 in the chain 1 space here. Chain 1, skip the next double crochet here, and then 15 double crochets in a row. That's 1 and so on. Almost done here. Skip the last stitch, the last double crochet from the previous row, and then we'll make 4 double crochets in a row. So chain 1, go into the chain 1 space, and there you make your first double crochet, and over the last 3 stitches you make each 1 double crochet. That makes 4 double crochets. And in the chain 1 space, chain 1 you made to turn your work, you will make the last double crochet. See how nice edging you will get here? That's how I do it. I love this way. So it is up to you if you want to change it or not. I rather do it like this. So we start and ended with 4 double crochets, and then 15 double crochets in a row. Here, 5 here. So it's 2 more. And on the other side we have 2 less. So I will show you one more time about the beginning and the end. This is the next row, and you will end off with 5 double crochets in a row instead of 4. So only at the beginning and the end you will increase or decrease with 1 stitch. And in between with the triangles you will increase or decrease with 2 stitches. So here is this. You see? I started with 5 double crochets, 13, 7 double crochets, 13 double crochets, 7 double crochets, 13 double crochets, and 5 double crochets. You will keep repeating this up until you have 1 double crochet in the point. Here it is. I ended this row and we're halfway the diamond stitch. Now here's the point. Here will increased and here it decreased. Here we will start in the next rows to increase again, and here we will decrease up until we reach into a point. So this one decreasing, and here we increase like this. So I already made my chain 1. I will show you, this is the last row of the diamond motif. So I'll show you how we do it. First of all, double crochet in the stitches up until you reach the single double crochet in the middle. So here I am, 1 in the double crochet chain 1 space, then chain 1, skip that double crochet, and then into the next stitch you will make a double crochet, so in the chain 1, and then you go along with the next 19 double crochets and 1 in the chain 1 space. That makes a total of 21 double crochets in a row, like here. So chain 1 and then double crochet, 21 double crochets in a row. Here I am in the chain 1 space. I make my last double crochet, then chain 1, skip the double, and in the next chain 1 space you make the first double crochet of the next 21 stitches up until here. There you make the last double crochet. So 21 double crochets in a row, separated by a chain 1 space in the beginning and at the end, and double crochet in the last stitches. Chain 1, and this is how it looks like. Isn't it gorgeous? This point is completed here, and this one is the widest point of the diamond stitch. From single crochet to single crochet, chain 1 to chain 1, it should be 21 stitches, and after we will go here decreasing, and at the bigger part you will decrease. So here you start off with a chain double crochet in the chain 1, and then again 3 in the next, 5 in the next, 7 in the next, and so on. Here we will go increasing, so instead of 21 we should have 19, 17, 15, 13, and so on. So here you will increase with 1 stitch, decrease with 1 stitch. So every row you should have 1 double crochet less. So I already chained up 1 and I turn my work. Here it is. We start off with decreasing on this side here. this one stays straight, you get a half diamond motif here. So here you make 1 double crochet and then chain 1 and go on with 19 double crochets in a row, chain 1, double crochet in a chain 1 space, chain 1, 19, and so on and so on. And on the last piece you will make 1 double crochet less, and you end off here. You will chain 1, turn, make 1 less, make your single crochet, 3 double crochets, single crochet, chain 1, sorry, and then this one will be decreased and this one will be increased. Here also increased. Let's go that way, and you have half. So I'll finish this part and show you. I've got 4 triangles high for my first part I made. I'll show you. Here it is. I'll stretch it out and I will pick up the first. You see how long it is. So 4 long is this one. 1, 2 and 3 and number 4. That is the length for my dress. I will finish off the next part and then we will start crocheting 2 pieces together while using double crochets only. So no needle needed, because I hate sewing in ends. I will show you how to do it and hope to see you in the next tutorial, and I wish you all the best of luck. Thumbs up and please do subscribe to my channel.